The reason the rates dropped in December, absent anything else happening, is because of a $7 environmental reliability charge will come off, and it'll drop the rate to about $95 per 1,000 kilowatt hours. $5 of this is federal environmental compliance requirement. Mandates, we have no choice in this. But it'll be paid off at the end of December. So with your January bill, you will start to see the benefit of that. I already walked through the carbon sequestration example. This is an attempt for them by ACCO to look for ways on a very experimental basis to pull carbon gas, carbon dioxide out of their flue gas and to sequester it, to stick it in the ground. Well, this is new as an idea. It's never been proven anywhere. We don't know what it will do to things like the water table. And because there's no, it doesn't work yet. There's no way to analyze cost-benefit analysis or something like this. But it is an example of ACCO kind of struggling to try and deal with what they know is coming ahead of time. I give them credit for that. And but financially, we're not going to burden, if we can avoid it, you all with that. We argued that way with the State Corporation Commission. So these are the kinds of things we're dealing with today. Going forward, the most detailed study I've seen is the Heritage Foundation study, which actually talks about Virginia specifically and what we can expect to see. And their estimate is about a $532 per year increase in the average Virginia electric bill. And I did my math backwards on this, and it comes out to about $35 per 1,000 kilowatt hours. This is more than double the interim rate hike in December. So if you thought that was bad, this is more than double that. It's actually almost triple if you take the transmission fees out. And that will be phased in over the next roughly 10 years, and that isn't the end of the phasing. There's another $65 per 1,000 kilowatt hours roughly over 15 years after that. So by 2035, if you start with today's rates, you literally be looking at about a doubling of electricity rates just because of that one regulation. That doesn't count what will happen to fuel costs at all. And one of the issues we have to deal with here is this is all worse for APCO customers because AEP is the largest power producer with coal in the country. And all of this regulation is effectively targeting coal. And so the price of coal as a fuel relative to natural gas or alternatives is going to go up with it. That's not factored into what you see on the board here. Doesn't even count the fuel costs going up because of just the law of supply and demand. No legislature can repeal that law, though some of them like to try. The rate impacts of this happen in a lot of ways. But one is going to reduce coal demand, and most anywhere else in Virginia, this wouldn't be a real issue, but it's an issue here. And, whether we like it or not, some people do, some people don't. We're a coal state. We're not one of the biggest coal states, actually. But it is important to the economy of this part of Virginia. It's critically important. And the estimate of coal demand reduction is 75%, 72 to 82% by 2030. That's a lot of jobs going away. That's a lot of jobs going away. That comes from the National Association of Manufacturers. And remember, this is the point. We're contending right now with another regulation, the surface mining regulation, which in 5 years would effectively shut down 1/3 of Virginia mining just by itself in 5 years. Which, again, is probably the point of the exercise from the federal perspective, but that's a big problem for us in Virginia. That is a big problem for us. And those same higher costs are going to result, of course, in closing factories and job loss. The job loss estimate by the manufacturers is 50,000 jobs lost, roughly 42 to 52 over the time period of phasing that's in. And I'll give you an example of an indirect way this affects your rate that's already happened. The largest power user in West Virginia, APCO's largest power user, was Century Aluminum, sorry. It closed. Because it closed, APCO couldn't get rid of any infrastructure. You can't take down power generation facilities or transmission lines. And what Century Aluminum was using a sufficient amount of power, so much power, in the metallurgical industry they use a lot, that the sharing of that cost that was previously borne by Century Aluminum in the capacity equalization charges that are shared in the AEP system raises Virginia's rates $3 per 1,000 kilowatt hours just by closing that one plant. So when cap and trade starts to knock energy-intensive jobs out, the ones that are in the AEP area, not merely the APCO area, but the AEP area, those costs are going to be borne by all the other customers. And that's obviously going to cause us some challenges. And those big users cover an awful lot of what I would call overhead costs. Power generation, transmission, all the things you've got to have to run a power company, regardless of how many customers you have in your area. I'm going to shut down now and I'm going to take some questions, but